What is up, everyone? Welcome back. Welcome to the second episode of the New Japan Takeover. I am your host, Miss Y2 Garcia, and joined with me is my good friend from all the way from Ireland, my Irish potato, the only Jay White fan I will ever tolerate in my life. Please welcome my friend Daniel. What's up, Daniel?
How's it going? I will forever be known as your potato.
Yes, that is right. Oh, I should have also called you like the guy who sounds like Finn Balor, because come on, someone like comment down below. Like he sounds like Finn Balor. Like it can't be just me and a couple others who think so, right? It can't be. Just
I don't hear it, but sure.
yeah. Myself and even like Jay Lee hears it and stuff, but it's okay. We'll let other people have their opinion on that. But we're just gonna do a quick little Q&A, all things New Japan, of course, because I don't know when exactly my next like recap is gonna be. I'm thinking maybe the New Japan Cup, but it really depends because I'm still in school, and then Matt's birthday's coming up. You already know what I'm doing with that, so I'm pretty booked. But I still wanted to get another episode out because it's gonna be almost a month since I filmed my first one. So I just feel like I need to get at least something out at least once a month, even if it means just doing a little Q&A. So, and I'm glad I was able to do it with someone this time because, geez, doing shit solo is not that easy. So
without spoiling anything, how's the thing going from that?
I need to develop the pictures. Like that's all I'll say. I'm gonna actually. Well, I'll do it right after we're done recording. I need to send out asking for pictures because I don't think everyone saw it or everyone because I didn't get as much like pictures as I thought. I realized when I asked people, I was like, hey, who has sent me a picture? Not many people responded, so I was like, I don't think that's right. So I'm just gonna ask again because I'm developing pictures at least by today. And if yours isn't in it, like I'm sorry, you ain't getting the picture. Like this is maybe I'll be nice. I'll go make a second trip, but I really don't want to. I want to do this all at once because I haven't even. It's hard to do.
Sorry about that.
Oh.
Did you hear that?
No, I was like.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
A notification came in on my laptop.
No,
I thought you heard.
It's okay. Yesterday when I was recording with Katie, I got a whole ass phone call, and since my MacBook is connected like with my phone, it like took me out of Zoom. So I thought, shit, I left, but no, I didn't. Yeah. Dodged a bullet there, but okay. So we're just gonna hop right into the questions. I put them on Instagram. I got a few responses because quite a few people, or some people, actually watch New Japan, but not a lot considering I didn't get as much. But at the end, Daniel and I are gonna ask each other a question, which apparently we've both had since the idea of doing this came about. So we love that for us. Okay. So first question is thoughts on Sanada finally winning a singles belt. I'll let you share your thoughts first.
Yeah, it was good to see. It's been overdue for him to, have a proper singles run. So I went into that match not really expecting him to leave champ, unfortunately. But yeah, it was a pleasant surprise. It's good to see.
I was gonna say, you thought you were surprised, like shit, imagine how I was, like considering who he beat. I was like, what the hell? I mean, I said this yesterday because as of recording, we're recording this right after we recorded our weekly show with I do with Katie, but I was so surprised, like not that I was upset because again, like you said, it's long overdue and I'm super happy for Sanada. I've said it before, and if you follow me on Instagram, on my story for Wrestle Kingdom, I said he needs a singles title run.
Yeah.
And I'm so glad he did it. It's just the fact, like, I wasn't expecting him to beat Tana, especially I didn't expect Tana's reign to last, like, this short. It was a really pretty short
reign. He seemed like such a transitional champion in the last, like, 2-3 years.
You know what? I'm not going to comment on that, no. Okay, but I can kind of see that, honestly. Like, with the Never Openweight Championship, I feel like same story. I feel like he hasn't really had a nice, long, proper run. And I thought, maybe with the New Japan Cup coming, I was like, maybe he's got a chance. I know people, especially after Wrestle Kingdom, were saying, like, he needs at least one more world title run, which obviously I agree. But I think, but ever since they announced Ibushi's going to be in the tournament, I'm like, well, fuck. Now we know who's winning. It's obvious who's going to win. But I digress. It's okay. But I'm still super happy for him. But I also took this moment yesterday when we were recording our weekly show that this is another reason why I'm just so bitter about the unification of the IWGP Heavyweight and the Intercontinental Championship, because that could have been the Intercontinental Championship. If you don't want to push Sonata to get the World Heavyweight title, that's fine. But at least there would be more options than just 2 titles. At least, with the Intercontinental title, there's a third option, and that could be used for other talent. Like, prime example, Hiromu Takahashi, who I think he's done with the junior division. I don't think he needs to be lingering around there anymore.
I've wanted him as a heavyweight for I don't even know how long. When I started watching New Japan and I started watching like full shows, and I had caught up and all, when I saw him, I was going, whoa, this dude's insane. Mm-hmm. And then it kind of clicked with me that this guy's in the junior heavyweights.
Yeah, it just doesn't, it worked for a bit, but now it's just like way too long, he's been in the division. Like, it's like if Kenny spent all of his New Japan career in the junior heavyweights, which he should have never even been in the junior heavyweights. That dude is freaking huge. He was never yet.
Could you imagine Kenny as junior heavyweight champ in 2018?
No, and even when he had the belt, it was so tiny on him. It was like the old AEW Women's Championship, like the little ass belt. That's how it looked on him. That's how it looked on him. Like the IWGP Junior Heavyweight title. I was like, Kenny needs, because I watched Kenny when he was like in the Bullet Club and stuff. So when he won the title, I was happy. Don't get me wrong, but I was like, oh my god, that belt is like a damn, like, it's literally like a belt, not a title belt, like a belt that you actually wear. Mm-hmm. That's how it looked.
Yeah, it's very small.
Yeah.
It doesn't really look good on any of them if you really look at it. It does look way too small.
Maybe just redesign it. Well, maybe just make it bigger, since you're not going to bring the heavyweight belt back.
Redesign it. It's already
I feel like
different enough from the the old heavyweight.
Yeah, I was going to say, I guess because it kind of looks similar to the heavyweight championship, so I could kind of see why if you want to keep it smaller since it's the junior one. But now, since it looks like the heavyweight belt isn't coming back, might as well just make it bigger.
So much for Okada bringing that back after Wrestle Kingdom.
The only thing I can hold on to, which I'm not even going to get my hopes up because it's probably not going to happen, especially after he pretty much acknowledged that the belt is here to stay, is that what's the word? Ibushi wins. He challenges Okada for the World Heavyweight title, and they can kind of throw in the stipulation. Okada can finally really confront Kota Ibushi for unifying the titles, which was probably the biggest mistake in New Japan history. And then he can finally they can do the stipulation where okay, I'll let you challenge me for the belt, but if you win, you get the belt and you get to keep this World Heavyweight title. But if I win, we're bringing back the IWGP Heavyweight title and the Intercontinental title. That would be cool. I would like to see that. Don't think it's gonna happen, but that's probably
it's not gonna happen.
That's probably the only. It's probably the only way it could happen and still look like it goes with the story, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
So, but back to the original point. We're happy for Sonata. We went completely off track there, but we're good thoughts for him. Even though he beat Tanahashi, it's okay. It's all right. I got over it. Okay. Next question. This one's a hard one because I hate the word all-time. There can never really be an all-time for me. But anyways, all-time favorite NJPW match and why? That is way too fucking hard. I can list a few, and I wouldn't call them all-time because I guess it definitely depends on how I'm feeling. If I feel like watching this match 5 times out of the week, then I'll do it. But then it could be another match another week. It just, again, it depends. Depends how you're feeling. It depends. I even with simpler questions, what's your all-time favorite this? I'm when people ask what's your favorite food, I'm I don't know. Don't ask me that. It's just something that I probably could never answer, and it'll be a definite answer. It's going to stay that answer. Once you ask me what's my all-time favorite, it's not going to be, that doesn't exist.
Okay, I'm going to say top 3 because like you said, there's no all-time top favorite.
Go ahead.
In no particular order. Kenny Okada, Dominion 2018.
Obviously, that's that's the match. That is the match.
Yeah. For character reasons, because me being invested in his character and everything. Jay White Okada, Kingdom 13.
Yeah, that's a
because that was, I think, the match that if they were pushing Jay at the time as the guy who the heel that you don't want to win, but it's kind of, well,
Top
whether
heel.
you want them, yeah, like whether you want them to lose or not, he's winning everything. He's beating everyone, the top guys, and
Yeah.
I think it did nothing but great things to have him beat Okada somewhat clean in like 14 minutes. It
Yeah,
was like a
and
career or a character making match for
yeah, it's
Jey.
like when Hangman beat Minoru Suzuki in the G1. It's like shit that you don't think is gonna happen, but you can't really be mad that it happened. And if I'm gonna be
Yeah.
honest, at the time I wasn't really upset because again, the Jay White fans didn't fucking exist. They didn't exist then. They didn't pop out from wherever it is they came from. Like I swear, like nothing against you, because again, I know you love Jay White. You're the only one I can tell you to your face about this, and you won't even take offense to it, but like I feel like without, it's kind of like New Japan as a whole. Chris Jericho went to New Japan and he kind of brought the name to North America. That's how people really got familiarized with it. I think Kenny Omega kind of did the same thing with Jay White. I don't think Jay White owes all his credit to Kenny Omega, but I do think Kenny does have a major role as to why people know who he is. Because I kind of noticed the growth of Jay fans, or at least people starting to talk about Jay after he turned down Kenny's offer to be in the Bullet Club. So then my nightmare came to life, and I've hated life ever since. Not really, but yeah, it's just, so back to what I said before, the Jay White fans just came out of nowhere, or at least I haven't noticed them. Maybe I just wasn't on social media as much. I don't know. But all I know is that back then I was nowhere near as pissed off about Jay White as I am now. Like, again, it's mostly his fans that just really trigger me. Like, it's not even what Jay does. It's just his fans. Like, when Jay beat Coda for the briefcase, the rights to the briefcase to go to Wrestle Kingdom 15, I wasn't even upset that Jay won. I was just upset because I knew what his fans were going to say. Like, the fans who didn't even watch that happen. I was like, you know what? Whatever. That's mostly what I'm more concerned about at this point, or more like what annoys me more. Not that he actually wins it. It's the fact that his fans' reaction, and the worst part, they're not even watching what happens. They didn't even watch. They just go on the website, they see it, or they see someone else, aka me, talking about it, and then they'll go ahead and say something. And you know damn well, like, you see it firsthand happening. So, yeah. Was that your second one or the third one that you mentioned about?
That was the second.
Okay, so now your third one.
So, third, Mox versus Juice Robinson, US title.
Oh, yeah. That one's...
Mox's first match after leaving WWE.
After leaving the Fed.
And just seeing Mox get back into, like, his groove. And, because I don't know if you've seen in my story, I just received his book today.
Yeah, I saw
I got it in the mail. And that's been pretty much my whole day. I haven't put that down, but he was talking about it, and just like knowing in hindsight how happy he was to be back in the ring doing the kind of matches that he remembered doing, that he was best at, and all. It's just like, yeah, it was great. And then obviously for him to win the US title at the end was great as well.
Yeah, especially like his debut after his New Japan debut, he wins the title. Like, that's gold. Okay.
And it was a day before my birthday, so that was great.
Oh, that makes it even better. It's like Mox Smith.
Yeah.
So for me, I'm going to do a top 5, because again, I can't even narrow it down to 3. And I might even throw some flowers out there for some other matches, just to acknowledge them. Again, no particular order. And I'm going to try and avoid the ones that you said, even though the Jay White one would definitely not be on my list. But I'm going to obviously leave out Kenny and Okada at Dominion, because it was kind of an obvious one. That would have definitely been one of mine. But since you already said it, I'll acknowledge it, but I'll just leave it out for the time being, at least just because you said it.
Cool.
Another, like, if that was the singles match, this is the tag team match, Golden Lovers versus Young Bucks. Like, that one is, again, if Okada and Kenny at Dominion 2018 was the singles match, then this was the tag team match. Like, I would dare say it was better than Kenny Omega and Hangman Page versus the Young Bucks at Revolution. I
rewatched the Golden Lovers Bucks match the day after Revolution.
Yeah.
I watched the Bucks Kenny Hangman, and then I rewatched the Golden Lovers,
I feel
but
like there's
I still haven't decided which one is better or which one I like better.
Okay, maybe just because I don't know. I could see why. Maybe another day I'll feel different, but today I think
Yeah.
than Young Bucks. Maybe again, it's just again a little biased towards New Japan. I just feel like there was a little more like deeper meaning behind the match. You know, I feel like it was a little more dramatic. I feel like, you know, I feel like it just with Revolution especially, like it just happened a little too quick. And like even then, like even the like the little promo package, like video package they had before that, like Kenny was already skeptical of Hangman's loyalty. Like he's like, you know, he's already, you know, so there wasn't this full trust with Ibushi. You know, that's his right hand man. He was all this trust in him. You know, kind of seems like I would definitely choose him over the Bucks. I feel like there was more like history, and I feel like, you know, for example, if Kenny had to choose between the Bucks and Hangman, he obviously chose the Bucks. You know, as we've seen the way things have played out. You know, with Kenny and Hangman, he's definitely chosen the Bucks, and it probably wasn't a freaking easy ass decision for Kenny. I feel like with Kenny and Kenny, I was going to say Okada, Kenny and Ibushi, different story. I feel like he would choose Ibushi over the Bucks, which is why I think this made it a little more personal. I feel like Hangman was just kind of like a wild card in this case.
Okada and Ibushi, the Golden Lovers.
Yeah, no, I was gonna mistakenly be Okada and Omega. They just make gold in matches, different kind of gold that everyone loves.
There's a hidden gem of a spot as well, and that match when Kenny picks up Matt for the Angel. Yeah. But he kind of hesitates, and Matt grabs his hand, puts it back onto his head, and it's like, do it.
I
like,
know.
It's great. It's so good.
That was amazing. Like, dude, I can't. I won't even go into it. When I watched that, like, I was like, holy crap. Like, I was losing my mind. But, so that's match one. Next match, obviously, like kind of like with you, personal bias. Me, kind of a personal bias, but still. Kenny Omega versus Hiroshi Tanahashi at Wrestle Kingdom 13. Because, well, first of all, Tana won the G1 that year. Love to see it. It was a really good match. And it was Kenny's last Wrestle Kingdom before leaving and going to AEW. So I kind of, when they first announced AEW that new year, I kind of, like, you know, on New Year's, I kind of knew that Kenny was going to, I was like, all right, Kenny, you just spoiled the match. You could have done this afterwards, but okay. Like, you could have announced AEW afterwards, so it could be like, oh, it makes sense now, like, why Kenny lost.
Yeah.
But he kind of spoiled the match. It was still good, though, and I was so glad Tana won. And, you know, obviously from that, Kenny went on to be an EVP of, you know, one of the hottest wrestling companies in the world. So I feel like it's not just the match, but what came after the match that happened. Yeah. So there's that. Number 3, there's just so many to choose from. God damn. Well, I guess, okay, I tried not to keep these too recent because again, like, I feel like, I don't know, picking recent stuff is a little like, I don't know, sometimes you just got to go in the past, if that makes sense, for like all time. Yeah. But I can't help it, okay? But and I'll explain. Tanahashi versus Kenta this past Wrestle Kingdom 16. Let me tell you, because this is Tanahashi not only won the United States Championship, but he did what he kind of gave shit to Kenny for when he beat Jericho or to retain the title. You know, it was like a no DQ match. And Tana was like, you know, why would you have to do that? Like, you know, he's kind of against the whole no DQ matches. He thinks, you know, his mentality is you need to do this shit one-on-one, you know, following the rules. He's kind of a goody two-shoes. He doesn't. So the fact that Tana, not only the night before, he fucking snapped and he got himself disqualified from his first match at Wrestle Kingdom, but he came out of his shell. Like, he did stuff that it's out of his comfort zone completely. And he was able to do it, and he did it, I think, pretty damn well, considering he never does it, and he's already, like, 45, you know? He's 45, and he's doing shit he's not known for doing. So with that being said, I'm like, it was really good to see. And then watching, you know, I was stranded in an airport when I was watching it. So watching...
Yeah, I forgot about that.
Yeah, so watching Tanahashi do the highest fly flow from the ladder through the table... where Kenta was just bleeding everywhere. Like,
It was
Love to
bad.
see. Dude, he fell into that trash can and like I was like, oh, like I almost screamed in the airport. I'm like, I can't react like this in an airport. Like I might get kicked out. But it was really cool to see. So there's that. And then again, and then I'll definitely throw it back with AJ Styles versus Shinsuke Nakamura, Wrestle Kingdom 10, I believe. That one is a classic.
Was it not 9?
10, I believe. I think it was.
Was it 10?
Yeah, I could look it up. See, this is why we can look it up. Hold on, AJ Styles, and that's why.
Yeah, because 11 was Kenny Okada for the first time when Kenny overtook AJ. So yeah, it could have been 10.
I'm like, I almost forgot what I was gonna type now. Let's see. Yeah, Wrestle Kingdom 10 in the Tokyo Dome.
Okay, yeah. What was the Nakamura match at 9? That was. Am I thinking of a completely different match?
Hold on. Let's find out. I'm gonna look it up. Wrestle Kingdom. Because I know 9 is when Kenny won the IWGP
Junior heavyweight, yeah.
Yeah. Let's see. What a good Wrestle Kingdom.
Yeah, I know.
And right, I was like, hold on. The double main event, Shinsuke Nakamura successfully. Oh, that's when he beat retained the IWGP Intercontinental Championship against Ibushi. Is that the match you're referring to?
Ibushi, that's the one. Yeah.
I was like, yeah.
I knew there was a big Nakamura match at either 9 or 10.
It was one of the main events. Like one of they do the double main events kind of. One of them's like, or a semi-main event, I think is what they call it now.
Yeah.
So yeah, I believe that's what that was. But yeah, that was a good match. Again, good pay-per-view overall.
Yeah.
And he won the little tiny belt, and then Shinsuke beat Kota Ibushi. Yeah. Okay, and then last one again. Tomorrow it might be different, but today these are my top 5 as far as I can think of right off the top of my head. Obviously, I got to go with Jericho versus Omega. Like I have a lot of Kenny matches, but I mean, there's a reason why Kenny's the fucking best in New Japan. So it was definitely like the moment when New Japan, I feel like, became heavily known, not just in Japan, but like in North America and Europe. Like it became a world well-known brand, like wrestling promotion. And I think that was really cool to finally see that, because obviously all these WWE fans know Chris Jericho. So they're like, so the fact when they saw he's going to go facing Kenny Omega, people may not have known who this Kenny guy was, but now afterwards, I feel like they brought all this, you being one of them, but hey, at least you went
one of these
back
people. This was the match that introduced me to New Japan.
Yeah, and at least you admit that though. You don't know how many times I see people saying like, oh, well, like there's like this, like, she's I think like 17 now, but when she was like 15, 16, she was like trying to convince people that she watched the Young Bucks during their TNA days. I'm like, you fucking what?
Who?
I'm not gonna say names. There's someone I've seen on Instagram.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, no, someone I've seen on Instagram who was like, who's trying to convince people that like when she was like 16 at the time, trying to convince people that she watched the Bucks in their TNA days. Like, I totally know who Generation B was. I'm like, no, you fucking didn't. Like, okay, like I don't think most Young Buck fans like who watched them in New Japan knew who they were, and even like, it's just one of those moments where you just don't know until they say something. And they're like trying to convince people that they've followed them since then. I'm like, that's not fucking true. Like, if that was the case, then like, why is your first shirt like an AEW shirt? Like, come on now. Like, you would have. I feel like you would have collected more if you had been a fan that long. I don't know. That's just me, okay? But like, it's so obvious. But then they don't know like little things like about the Bucks, like in their New Japan days, or like even when they would go to Ring of Honor and stuff. So it's just so obvious. It's not about the Bucks right now, but
my first New Japan shirt was the Golden Elite T-shirt.
Really?
Yeah, I got it for the Christmas after that June.
It's hard because like my dad would never like, it was either Amazon or WWE shop was all like until it got, like was all my dad would buy from. It wasn't until I got my own money, like my own card, when I could finally start buying stuff for myself. So that's why I was so in love with Hot Topic, because they would sell New Japan shirts, like Bullet Club shirts. I got my first Bullet Club shirt there, like the original, like not the original, because obviously we've seen how the original one looks like, but like the classic, the one that everyone knows, the logo that they have now. Classic logo.
Soldier, yeah.
Yeah. And then I got my Kenny Omega socks from there. And I got all my Jericho shirts, like New Japan Jericho shirts, I got from Hot Topic. This one, I got the first Alpha Club shirt. I got the other Alpha Club shirt from Hot Topic. The Painmaker shirt from Hot Topic. I feel like there was another one. I got my first Young Buck shirt from Hot Topic because, and I got my Kenny Omega pop doll from Hot Topic because, again, I could only get stuff like with cash at the time until I got my own card, and then I would really go back and buy shit. But yeah, Jericho versus Omega was like the reason people got to know who Kenny Omega was. Like no one really got to like see what or who Kenny Omega was and what he could bring to the table, which I think is like incredible now that, because I feel like because of that kind of really opened the little crack to like bringing what to AEW is, if that makes sense. Because I feel like without introducing this bigger audience to New Japan and Kenny Omega, I feel like there wouldn't be that opportunity to open the door for something big like AEW. So
yeah, for sure, yeah.
So for that reason, that's got to be my top 5. And I'll just throw in just to get little flowers. Again, I've been watching, especially during class. I know I probably shouldn't, but the lectures are fucking boring. I've been watching a lot of Hangman matches from New Japan during class, and a lot of them are a lot of his single matches are during the G1, obviously, because the G1 is a singles competition. But that's another reason why it's just so bittersweet to watch. So I'm like, look, he's doing so well as like a singles competitor. I believe it was against Minoru Suzuki. Like he freaking did like a moonsault like off the stage, before the match even had like officially started. And he had his rope and he used to freaking hang people. Like I feel like there was just so much potential for Hangman that could have been shown.
I don't miss because I wasn't around at the time, but I'd like to see, because I went back, I'd like to see the rope come back. I thought it was cool.
There is so many opportunities, like the Texas Death Match. I'm like, dude.
Yeah.
I was like,
I actually did think, I thought for a second that he was going to come out, and I was half expecting it.
Like, bring back the vest, the rope, like.
And they're in the first figure. The rope and the vest came with his first
my Hangman Wall's right
so.
there, so yeah, it is there.
Yeah, I have them there as well.
Yeah, we're just turned away from the camera to look at our figures. Yeah, it does come.
That's what you should do. Edit the intro so when your New Japan Takeover thing, and then we come on and it's just us like that.
Yeah, just looking up. But yeah, it did come with the rope, but I don't know how true this is, but apparently I can kind of see it. The reason why Hangman stopped using the rope is because someone like tried to use it against him. Like one of the crazy ass fans tried to I guess they grabbed the rope, something. I think that's why he stopped.
Did he say in the Being the, or it was one of the Q&As that it's on the Being the Elite YouTube?
Yeah, I believe so.
I think. Oh no, it was the second one. He wasn't in the first one. He said someone asked him why he stopped using it, and he said he got choked out by Frankie Kazarian.
Yeah,
I don't know if that was just a kayfabe.
That's why. I don't know if that was again. I saw that, so I was like, that could, I don't know if again, it could be kayfabe, but I don't know if it's just because I could have sworn I read somewhere that he almost got choked out by a fan with the rope, and maybe he just used Frankie Kazarian as the reason. You know what I'm saying? So, who's gonna say? Oh
sorry, Kaz.
No, it's okay, but who's gonna
No, I'm saying sorry, Kaz, you're being used as the excuse here.
I thought you were saying apologies to me for laughing. I'm like, no, it's shit happens even to Hangman. Obviously, we've seen that shit always happens to Hangman. But yeah, I thought he would bring it out at least this one time for the Texas Death Match. I also wanted him to use sharp ass spurs on his boots, because I'm like, it's a Texas Death Match in New Jersey, so I'm like, at least bring some Texas with it.
Yeah, that would have been cool.
And then, or like I guess it was to prevent him from doing the buckshot, which he did end up finding a roundabout way to do it anyway, like off the
That
rope.
was so. Whoever came up with that, I want to shake their hand because that was great. That was so inventive.
It was probably Hangman, because if you remember on Being the Elite, when he was staying the hell at home, he was like doing whatever. He was like playing Animal Crossing. He was just watching TV, and he was like wrestling at home, like he was doing, like he was in his gear, he was doing burpees, and then like he does the buckshot off the couch. It was like the love seat or something.
Oh yeah,
about the same height.
So maybe it was him.
So I was like, maybe Hangman just remembered, or maybe someone who remembered that moment probably brought it up to him, like, you should do this. But still, love to see it. It was really good. But like I thought, cool. Because the top rope got taken off, I was like, before he even tried the buckshot, I'm like, Hangman, like, use the rope. That's a rope. You can use that. Like, I'm like, out of context, me trying to like have a man use a rope to choke out another man sounds horrible, but in Hangman's case, in wrestling fans' eyes, it's like, yes, let this happen.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. I thought this was gonna take I thought we didn't have enough questions. We might have too many at this point, because it's okay. I know I said I'm not gonna say names, but I just have to in this case. This isn't even a question, but I still want to include it because it's freaking hilarious. Tyson, our friend Tyson, says, tell why Okada is such a god. I'm like, that's not a question, but I'll still include it because I'll acknowledge that Okada is a god. Definitely.
Yes, yeah. What is Tyson with Okada?
He loves Okada, and he absolutely despises the Great Okan. I know that.
I can see why he despises the Great Okan.
Yeah. But Okada, obviously I can see why. Like, dude, he loves Okada. I mean, I don't see how one would not. Also, of course, like, there's this ongoing joke that Brooke and I have about asking what's an Okada, because one time we were on someone's Instagram live, and someone asked, so they brought up Okada. And they're like, oh yeah, I think they asked, like, do you like Okada? And they're like, yeah, I do. I think he wrestled Kenny once. And I was like, what? Once? It's like, so I'm like, are you telling me all the other times were like fever dreams or something?
Yeah, that one time he wrestled Kenny.
No, that one time, I think. Whatever an Okada is. There's always, except when I said that on Instagram Live one time, because Brooke was in the chat, so I said it as a joke, and Tyson thought I was being dead serious, and I think he was going to murder me in the chat, because I said, what's an Okada? He was like, what? And then he's like, oh, you're joking? I was like, yeah. But we will tell why Okada is such a god, because I feel like if Kenny Omega wasn't there, I feel like Okada could definitely, and I can still see it now. He's definitely, I feel like, carrying a big part of New Japan right now. I feel like, he's the champion, he's the leader and stuff, and he's definitely like the New Japan wrestler that like people know, if that makes sense. If you don't watch New Japan, you've definitely heard of Okada, though. You definitely have heard of Kazuchika Okada. Maybe you don't know his first name, but maybe you've heard of Okada at least. At the very least, you've heard of Okada. So we'll acknowledge that. Next question. Which AEW star would you like to see compete in the G1? I thought that one was a good one because there's a lot of choices.
I mean, there's a lot, but the first name that popped into my head as soon as you said that was Pac.
That would be fucking awesome.
I want the wee bastard in New Japan.
I know Bryan Danielson wants to go to New Japan, so it would be cool to see him in the G1 also. I would want to see Danielson versus Ospreay. I feel like that would be hell of a match.
I just want Ibushi versus Pac. No time limit, no DQ. You only win by breaking the other person's neck. Because look at the German suplexes and the way both of those guys land on their heads when taking moves.
I know. It's like either win or retire.
That was one of those things that like use the rope to choke someone out, but like to wrestling fans it sounds different.
Yeah.
Like a Pac has taken DDTs. He took a paradigm shift once, I think remember the tag match with Kenny and Hangman against Mox and Pac. It was one of the very early Dynamites.
Yes, I remember that.
And Mox gave Pac the fingers and gave him the paradigm shift. And he threw himself right down onto his head. I'm like, how have you gotten so far in your career and still maintained a neck?
How have you not snapped it in two?
Same with Ibushi. Every German suplex he lands square on his head.
I was about to say something, but not only is it inaccurate, but it's not true. I was about to say if I guess the landing, the way he lands, that kind of applies. That finally came back to bite him in the ass. Hence, the way he lost the G1. Is that too mean? Like, I didn't want him to win, but not like this. But like the way he landed.
One
like,
of these days, though, he's going to land and he's going to seriously hurt himself.
Yeah, I'm. Well, he already has. Just it might be more severe in this case. I know what you're saying though, but like,
yeah,
it's already
like as in a career-threatening.
Yeah, I was gonna say
injury.
I was gonna say as far as it like getting injured, it's happened already. Like,
oh, it's happened, yeah, but like a very, very bad one.
Yeah. Oof, I still think of that spot.
Remember the power bomb Orange Cassidy gave Pac, where he threw him down onto the back of his neck. That was a time where I was like, and there it is, it's finally happened. He's landed on his neck and he didn't get back up this time.
I don't know how he does it. Maybe he's got a strong ass neck. I don't know. Maybe his neck is made of metal.
Probably just like working out and all to get the muscles around his neck so guarded that it doesn't.
Maybe, but shit, like you can only do so much.
Yeah, even still.
Okay. So Pac. I said well, I guess Danielson isn't my pick. I just said like he would want to go to New Japan, which it would be cool to see. I don't know. Like I'm trying to think. I mean, Malachi Black would be pretty cool to see in the G1. I could see him kicking heads off to the top.
I'd like to see Andrade in New Japan.
Andrade,
that's at some point.
That's another good one. Andrade. I'm trying to think of like the 100+ men
Orange
that
Cassidy.
they have. Orange Cassidy versus Toru Yano.
Go. I threw out Orange Cassidy in the G1, and you had to win.
Okay, but that is what they would do though. They're both like they would do that. Like I'm not even like trying to fuck.
Yeah, they would. It is the kind of.
I just hope Orange Cassidy wins though. Like. Okay.
I want Blood Orange for that match. I don't want just Orange Cassidy. I want Blood Orange to come back.
Blood Orange. I was like, you don't want a Mimosa Mayhem match for that? Whoever gets. Like, I'm sorry, but like, I guess I give props to Chris for trying to like really hype this up, but like, I was like, why? I was like, when they first announced that match, I was like, why?
He's come up with some great matches over the years. That was not one of them.
I know. I was like the Stadium Stampede. I was like, at first, I was like, what the hell is like? I was like, really?
50-50 on that one.
Yeah, when they first announced it, I was like, the fuck is a stadium? Like, are you serious? Yeah. I was kind of against it. I was like, that sounds so fucking dumb. But then I
wasn't necessarily against it. I was just going, oh, this could be either really good or really bad. But no,
I just thought the name itself was like, oh god. I was like, it sounded like it was gonna be a recipe for disaster. But holy shit, they completely blew my mind. I was like, oh wow, this is not a disaster. It was a really good match.
And then they explained the rules of the Mimosa Mayhem, and I was like, no, please don't do this. Don't do it.
I remember, like, I was at a lake house with we were out of town for Labor Day. We were at a lake house and there were so many people and I was watching on my phone. The Wi-Fi was horrible. So I was able I don't know, maybe God just was nice to me. I don't know. But like only Kenny and Hangman's match did shit not like buffer or lag or nothing. Like it went so smoothly. I even got some good screenshots because of it. But I was thinking I was so tired because we were doing so much. You know, we were at a lake house, so we were doing a lot. So I fell asleep like during like that casino battle royal. Was it a casino battle royal? I don't even know what it was. It was like, or a ladder match, or I think it was a ladder match. It was the one that Brian Cage. I think it was the one that Brian Cage won.
That was a Double or Nothing.
No? Okay, then no. Then the one, was it Lance? No. Was it Lance Archer? I don't know. I'm trying to think. There was like, again, just to keep it short, I fell asleep during that, and I woke up in the...
Maybe it was a Battle Royal. I don't think there was a ladder match at All Out that year.
I don't know. I'm gonna, you know what, let me just look it up, just because it's gonna bother me. But while I'm looking it up, I remember, I fell asleep during that match, so I was so tired, but I really wanted to watch the review, but I just could not stay up. I fell asleep, and then I woke up in the middle of the Matt Hardy, Sammy Guevara match. I was like, wow. Let me see. Let's see. It was a 21-man casino battle royal. Determined the next challenger. Lance Archer won by eliminating Eddie Kingston. So I knew, I was like, I knew Archer was in there somewhere, but yeah, so I was like, I fell asleep during that, and I woke up in the middle of Matt Hardy and Sammy Guevara's match, and then where was I going with this? But then I was going somewhere with this. I completely lost track. I don't know. I got lost.
You were talking about, what was the question? Was
we were talking about
the G1?
Yeah, I'm trying to like rekindle like what exactly led up to talking about All Out. And well, like I got lost now. We were talking about Pac, and we were talking about Andrade, and we were talking about Malachi.
We went on to the almost Mayhem.
Oh,
because you said the Orange Cassidy and Yano match was
it was gonna be comedic relief because like the most.
Yeah.
There we go. Now I remember. Yeah. So. Yeah, we found it.
We got there in the end.
Yeah, we got there. Yeah, that's all that matters. But yeah, we were just like, it would just be, just to keep it short and going back to the main point. It would, if Orange Cassidy goes in the G1, it's gonna be against Toru Yano. There's gonna be some sort of comedic relief in there. That's just how it's gonna be.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I mean, I wouldn't mind if Orange Cassidy went to New Japan and then beat Toru Yano for the King of Pro Wrestling trophy. I would just like to see him like kind of rub it in his face, like by not even rubbing it in his face, just holding up the trophy and just doing the thumbs up thing. I feel like it would piss Toru Yano off. Exactly like that. Okay. Next question: best or favorite best of the Super Juniors match. I feel like there's a lot to like again, if you want to go and look stuff up, you can. I'm trying to think.
Can I just take the easy way out and say any match with Takahashi?
I mean, that is a good easy way out. Especially this last one where he won.
And there was one I don't think it was this year's. I think it was last
year's. No, I know, but I'm just trying to acknowledge that this year's was really good, or this past year's, and he did. He unfortunately didn't beat El Desperado for the IWGP Junior Heavyweight Championship. Which, I mean, if that should tell you anything, like bring Takahashi to the heavyweight division. Just do it, New Japan, make it happen. Should have replaced Naito when he got hurt in the G1. I think that would have been cool. He lost Naito was out after the first match, which he had already lost. So if Takahashi replaced him, it would be kind of like, it wouldn't be really any, like, it would literally just be a placeholder because he wouldn't be starting off with any points he didn't earn because Naito already lost the match, the only match he's already done. Instead, they gave freebie points to people that, probably would have lost to Naito. But,
Best of Super Juniors. Do they mean like a match that happened during that tournament, Best Super Juniors tournament?
Yeah, I think so. I don't think. Okay, I don't know if they mean that. I don't know if they mean that or best person to win it. I mean, it doesn't matter. I mean, we can say whatever.
I think I'll go with Takahashi El Desperado.
That's a good one. Here's another one that like some people may not know, or at least remember. Again, you just got to go back and watch this shit. That's why it's always good to go back. But Prince DeVite in 2013, he won. And it was a good match, good finals, and he came out on top. And it was like in 2013. I wasn't watching New Japan then, but I went back and watched it. So, actually, speaking of Prince DeVite,
back to the other question about the favorite matches, I'm going to throw flowers to another match there because you just reminded me of it. Devitt versus Kenny.
Yes.
When Kenny was still the golden over with the green tights and the bleach blonde hair and everything.
Uh-huh.
That
was Chef's Kiss. That's actually a good one. I'm glad you brought it up because that was a really good match.
It's so underrated. I don't think people bring it up enough.
Yeah, I think you're absolutely. And you know, I've sort of commented this on Kitty's Instagram, like bring back, you know, it's okay, bring back the green trunks just one time for us, please, like pretty please, just do it. Or not.
Imagine if he did it in like if his last match ever in his career, like he said, this is my last match. If it was against Ibushi and he wore the green.
Can you
tights.
Can you not put those thoughts in my head? No. Like, first of all, I don't even want to think of Kenny's last match right now, okay? Like, let's not think about it.
Sorry, Brooke, if you're watching this back.
Oh, Brooke, don't. Just jump over this. I'll put a trigger warning for you.
Yeah.
Skip. Trigger warning, no, skip. I thought you were going to say he's going to come out with short hair. I was like, no! Okay, I don't, like, I mean, his short hair's all right, but I definitely love his long hair. Kenny with long hair. Something else. I was going to say something else about Prince Devitt. I watched it because, again, during class when I probably shouldn't be. I watched one of his matches. I'm trying to remember who it was against. Was it? I think it was against Tanahashi, I believe. I think it was. And I think Tanahashi had the Intercontinental Championship. I'm trying to remember. It's because New Japan's been kind of like, because to celebrate their 50 years, they've been putting new matches on New Japan World. Not new matches, but like matches on New Japan World to watch for free, I think.
Yeah.
And I think that was one of them. I was in class and I was like, let me just go to New Japan World. And it was there. So I was like, well, I might as well just watch it. And it was really good. I believe Prince Devitt won. I don't remember. Because, again, I was trying to take notes at the same time. So I kind of like have
the Intercontinental title.
I don't think so. I think it was just
Devitt was never IC champ, was he?
I don't think so. I want to say no.
It was just junior heavyweight and best of super juniors.
Yeah, which stinks. But I guess because he did end up leading to NXT like in 2014, I believe. So
yeah,
at least
he got May 2014.
I think so. I think
because AJ took over later on in the night.
I was gonna say AJ took over that same year. I think it was. But it's just crazy, like how at least he brought us Bullet Club. He made, like that's one of the things. Like I guess something like you can never take away from him. Like maybe he may not have done as much, like as far as winning the titles and stuff. But hey, he made one of the most well-known factions in the world today. Okay, that was all him. So there we go. Okay, next question. What's your take on the whole Bullet Club storyline right now? I'll let you take over on this one really quick because you've had theories. This is the mess that your favorite guy has. Actually, Adam Cole's the one who made this mess, but your favorite guy's taken place in this mess. So I'll let you I'll step back and you can just go ahead and say what you want.
This has now become a 3-hour show. So I think, okay. It's not an unpopular opinion that the Good Brothers aren't very good. I see a lot online of people saying they don't want the Good Brothers back in AEW and stuff, or back in the Bullet Club. This to me in storyline is Jey kind of gaining the trust of the Bucks. I think I said it on my story a few days ago. Gaining the trust of the Bucks.
You told me about it too, so.
Yeah. Bringing the Good Brothers back in. And then Cole being like, see, he's great. He's bringing your old friends back in and everything. And the Bucks just adding fuel to the fire, changing their bio to never really cared for Tana anyway.
I know.
That was great.
That could be just them trolling, though.
It could be. But yeah, I think at some point the Bucks, Jey, Cole thing is going to explode because Cole is going to I was going to say turn heel, but he's already a heel. Turn on the Bucks.
Mega heel.
Yeah.
Kind of like with Owens and Jericho. I guess if anything, it's not a heel turn, but a face turn for the Bucks. Because how do you?
Yeah. So
I was going to say, how do you turn someone
more of a heel? Yeah.
Like with Jericho and Owens.
Yeah. You're a bad guy. You're going to be even more of a bad guy.
Yeah.
Yeah, the Bucks turning completely face, and we've seen more thing with Hangman now on Dynamite with the Bucks.
Okay, I'll let you finish, but then I'll share kind of like my thoughts on something that I wanted to bring up regarding what happened last night on Dynamite.
So this, without going into like the whole story from now till then, I think it's all leading to Kenny versus Cole, because Kenny's going to come back and to a shitstorm because Adam Cole came in, brought in Jey, who's one of Kenny's old rivals, and now Jey is after doing Bullet Club shit in different companies. The Bullet Club in Japan is, God knows what's happening with that. Did you see what Jey said on Twitter about the House of Torture?
No. Wait,
He said,
I'm hardly on Twitter, so and again I don't even think I follow Jay on Twitter, so you're gonna have to tell me.
he said that he laughs because the House of Torture still think they're in Bullet Club.
What?
Yeah. So I read that and went, okay, at least even in storyline, they're acknowledging the fact that House of Torture is a mess.
Damn. Jay, you
I was
bastard.
I was kind of happy when Evil joined because I thought, okay, this will give him more of a thing because he could be good. Yeah. I don't, in my opinion, I don't think he's been that great since his turn.
Yeah.
And then the House of Torture thing happened, and up until Jay tweeted that, I was saying, this isn't Bullet Club anymore. These guys are not Bullet Club. They're a completely different thing. And Jay and Tama Tonga especially, back when like he kicked the Elite out because he was saying to Kenny, like, you want to be the leader of Bullet Club, you got to act like the leader of Bullet Club. You have to represent Bullet Club. What's this Elite shit? So they kicked them out because they didn't think they were Bullet Club anymore. Why hasn't that happened yet with the House of Torture?
That's a good question. Again, I'm not Jay, never planned to be, but like, so I can't really answer that. But
he hates them as well.
Oh yeah. Well, first of all, I feel like House of Torture at this point, for a long time, should have just been like their own little faction, kind of like Los Ingobernables, like LIJ.
Yeah. It should have never been associated with Bullet Club at all.
Yeah, exactly. So I feel like they should just kind of, I think if anything, especially after that, maybe at this point they should just leave. Like, quit while you're ahead. Don't get kicked out, just leave. So at least you can hold that power. Like, hey, I left. They didn't kick me out. I fucking left. So there's that. I guess to talk about, just to briefly bring up, to, just to acknowledge that. But with Jay, it's kind of hard because, like, again, this dude is doing shit on AEW, kind of Masi Menos, or more or less on New Japan, because he's not really like, Jay is completely, I feel like he's like, it's so hard to explain everything at once. So he's technically, yes, he's still under contract with New Japan, so yes, he is a New Japan wrestler technically, but he's never there anymore. And I'm keeping this in kayfabe. I know there's probably travel restrictions, especially with all the shit going on in the world. It's probably not the safest to travel to Japan currently. So I won't, give him shit for that. Again, it's probably safer for him to be in North America. So I'll give him that. Okay. I won't give him shit for that, but this is all keeping it kayfabe right now. So he hasn't really been in New Japan, but he's definitely, he's already made his AEW debut. He's already getting himself mixed up with the Elite, and now he's doing shit in Impact. So this dude's like all over the place, really. But the thing is that at what point, I guess, would you even say, like, I'll say it as a question, not as a statement. Do you think he's pretty much doing the same thing that the Elite is doing? Because you remember the Elite kind of really separated themselves from Bullet Club. They kind of, and that's, again, Jay questioning their loyalty or whatever and saying, are you with us? Are you against us? Like, what? Like, and then they got kicked, So you got to kind of ask yourself, is he kind of doing the same thing with this? Like, hasn't been in Japan. There's still Bullet Club members in Japan. There's, Girls of Destiny. There's House of Torture. You know, we still have like, you know, Phantasmo and Taiji Ishimori. There's still a lot of Bullet Club members back in Japan, but now he's forming like he's trying to like, you know, as we theorize, take over, you know, or like fuck up with the Elite, and then make his own faction in, you know, bringing more Bullet Club members in Impact, you know, with the Good Brothers and Chris Bay. So he's doing that. So I guess at what point would you want to consider like he's pretty much doing the same thing that the Elite is doing, but maybe in a more sadistic kind of way, if that makes sense. Like,
Yeah,
you get,
I feel like, yeah, I get what you're saying. I think he's doing with the Elite what he did with Chaos.
he's trying to implode the Elite, but then
from the inside, he's joining the Elite.
Quote,
he's bringing Bullet Club. And when I say Bullet Club, I mean like Chris Bay, Good Brothers,
Impact Bullet Club,
in kind of showing the Bucks, see, I want to work together. I want to, in his words, build Bullet Club the way I see it. And he has said before he thinks the Bucks, Cole, and all that are Bullet Club. So why can't we all be united over the different companies?
Yeah.
I think he sees Bullet Club with only one leader being him, if we're keeping like staying kayfabe, one leader being him. That's going to work until Kenny comes back. Well, whenever that'll be.
So it can either, and again, this I guess you just have to wait and see how it goes. It can either work extremely well in his favor, or it can completely just implode and
he's
just
going to turn
blow
the
up in his
Cole.
face.
Yeah, turn Cole and the Bucks
like,
against each other.
Because what if, not just that, like, I'm not just talking about the Elite, I'm talking about his plan itself. Like, what if it goes against him? Like, what if it kind of, like, backfires? I guess that's what I was trying to look for. Like, what if he, you know, while he's trying to, you know, dismember or disassemble the Elite, at the same time you have people from, like, Bullet Club or House of Torture calling him out, and then maybe at some point kicking him out, like, something like that. I'm not saying it's gonna happen, but it's like, you know, I guess Jay's playing a very, very risky game. And if it works out, then holy shit, this guy's like an evil genius or a mastermind. Like, you got it, and you have to wait and see what's gonna happen. But at the same time,
the way I see his character, like I was saying to you, he's the evil sociopath who knows exactly what he's doing when he's doing it, and if something goes wrong, he can see how it backfired on him. It was someone else's fault. The way he lost at Wrestle Kingdom against Ibushi, and then when he said he was leaving, he quit.
Yeah, like when the going gets tough, like he gets going.
Yeah, he said in that, like, freaking out and breaking down, saying it still wasn't my new era and all this, but then he immediately blamed Ishii beating him with the G1. For he was the one piece of the puzzle. Because I lost to him is the reason I lost tonight. It's never his fault.
Yeah, like the point is you lost.
If he loses, it's someone else's fault. If he wins, he did everything.
Exactly. And see, this is why I'm glad I could like notice how I've not gone triggered once over this whole thing. I just called Jay an evil genius. Okay, like you're the only one who I could stay just collected. Because, like, we talk about things, like, civilly, and it's not like, you know, when I say, you know, for example, when I say, you know, it's going to backfire on Jay or a possibility, you don't take it as me just being a hater. You're just saying, like, yeah, that could be a possibility. I just want to acknowledge that really quick. Like, holy shit. But anyways, so I get your theory, and it seems like a really thought out, and it very well could possibly happen. And I'm not saying this to, like, completely go against it, but I guess my question is, you know, first of all, obviously, I don't know how often Jay's going to show up in AEW. Obviously, that's up to, like, Tony Khan and stuff. So, I don't know. Keeping it kayfabe here, though. He hasn't been on since, I guess it's only 1 week. So, I can't really say he hasn't been here. But he was not on this week. But, again, maybe we shouldn't expect him to be on every single week. So, whatever. But, I guess I feel like so much is, especially after last night, so much is, or not last night, on Wednesday, because this is being filmed on Friday, so much has happened since Dynamite. I feel like a lot has happened without his involvement, if that makes any sense. I guess they could do stuff like on Being the Elite, or even like do a he said she said thing to kind of keep it like, yeah, this is all Jay's doing. But I feel like, you know, especially with like Hangman coming out and the Bucks just like, you know, letting him be and just like go ahead, like with Red Dragon, I feel like there's already a lot that's gonna again, they might do something after Revolution, I don't know, but I guess I just feel like so much is already happening, and now that, again, it's only been 1 week, but I feel like so much has happened on Wednesday with like without Jay's involvement, that it's going to be hard to kind of make this happen with, you know, Jay being the one behind it. Because I feel like now this is like what my theory about shit imploding in Jay's face is happening to Adam Cole currently. Like, he thinks we're all going to be friends. This is all going to be good. Like, you know, we're all going to be a group and stuff, but it's already exploding. Like, he's already having to choose between two sides, you know, like he's already conflicted, and we're just in the beginning. So I can only imagine where they're going to take it. But I wonder how much more of Jay's involvement is going to be actually included. And maybe we have to wait till after Evolution. Maybe, you know, the Bucks cost Adam Cole the championship, or maybe because like Red Dragon comes out, tries to cost Hangman the match. Maybe I don't know if the Bucks will either come to Hangman's aid, or something happens where the Bucks and Red Dragon are at it, and that like distracts him. Something might happen that will cost Adam Cole the title, and maybe like again, shit will just keep furthering like tumbling down further. But I guess, you know, if that does happen, again, where does Jay come back into play? You know, where does it become like, oh yeah, this was Jay's doing? Because by the looks of it, this is all Adam Cole's doing. And I feel like if Jay had more involvement with like what's been going on, I feel like then it can seem like a little more like, yes, yeah, this was Jay's doing. This was his plan all along. Or Adam Cole fucked up by doing this. I feel like we need to like, I guess, I don't know. I feel like since this is all happening so quick and Revolution's like in what, 2 weeks now? I feel like I guess, I don't know. I
think
just
it's not this Sunday. It's the one next Sunday.
Yeah, that's what I meant. But yeah, I guess I'm just wondering like how it could actually work out in the way you theorize, if that makes any sense.
Oh yeah, for sure. I thought I don't know if like I've seen a few people say it could be wrong, but I thought they teased JY Orange Cassidy at Revolution.
Did they?
And remember after Jay beat Trent on Rampage.
Okay, that makes
Cassidy got into the ring.
That makes a little more sense. I'm like, why Orange Cassidy of all people? Like, I feel like if Jay's gonna go up against someone at a paper, like nothing against Orange Cassidy, I just feel like if JY is gonna be here competing on an AEW pay-per-view, I think it needs to be against like, I don't know, like
someone, yeah,
like I don't know, like I don't know, but I wouldn't mind seeing it.
I can see, and I know you would hate this because you hate Jay, but I wouldn't be surprised if, and again, this is just theories, this could be completely off. I could see Revolution ending with like the last shot with the Bucks looking down at Hangman and Cole flat out in the ring, with Cole, the Good Brothers, Chris Bay, all in the ring, and Jay holding up the world title. Now, hear me out.
I was gonna say, I that does trigger me, but I think I know where you're going with this. You're not. I know because you have a brain. I know you're gonna. I know.
With Jay holding up the title, hopefully, if everything's good with him and things work out well and he gets back, hopefully by the time they've built ish to Jay Hangman for the title, it won't be like officially announced or like confirmed that this is the direction they're headed. It'll just be teased with like lines back and forth or whatever. Eventually Hangman will be in the ring doing a promo or whatever. Jay will come out, say it's still something like it, the way he goes on, it's still my era, everywhere, Impact, you'll say something like I conquered New Japan, I conquered Impact, something like that. I'm coming for your belt to add to my collection, something like that. And they'll be getting heated, and then either the lights will go out or the music will just hit. Kenny returns, gets into the ring. Hangman kind of leaves or steps aside, and basically Kenny says to Jey in however way he's going to say it, "What are you doing here? You're corrupting my friends to turn against each other.
Mm-hmm.
I have an issue with that. Also," and then this will be the line that will set things up. "Also, I haven't beaten you yet as Switchblade." Or something like, "Also, you still have a win against me.
Something.
I think I need to right that wrong," kind of thing.
Yeah.
And then that takes Jey out of the world title thing, because that's not going to happen.
The fact that people think it's going to, I'm sorry, it's just...
No. Okay, the match might happen. They might do Hangman Jey for the title, but he's not going to win it.
I know, but it's still, people think he's going to. I'm just like, what?
No, he's not. The only way that would work, as in Jey beating Hangman for the title, the only way that would work is if they did like a CM Punk MJF thing, where Jey hit a low blow or something, and Hangman, being the top babyface of the company, the crowd will cheer and boo and everything. So I could see that potentially happening, like a low blow, Blade Runner, 1, 2, 3. Jey beats him. He's holding up the title. His music is playing, and then the fans keep saying to the ref, "Watch the footage back." And then they go to the footage on the Titantron.
Kind of like what happened with CM Punk and MJF, where like they had to restart the match.
Yeah, and then and the way they could do it as well would be kind of cool. Have the camera on the screen showing the low blow, and then the referee ringing the bell, restarting the match. The camera just on Jey, and then a quick kind of zoom out, like they do with Okada when he does the pose. A quick zoom out, and as it zooms out, Hangman jumps over the ropes, buckshot, and retains. That's the only way I can see Jey holding the AEW title. Otherwise, it's not going to happen.
Yeah, and even then, there's I think the match itself would be good enough. I don't think there needs to be this whole again, and Jey's how we said, Jey's the one who will blame others for his shortcomings. So even if they whether they do the whole mess where they check the screen and stuff, he will find a way to shift blame to someone else. So and again, at least I feel like in that regard, it won't really hurt him, especially because he's not even signed with AEW, so it shouldn't hurt him anyway. But I don't know, fans are crazy. But I was gonna say something else about it was about Kenny returning. So I do agree it would be cool to see Kenny coming back, music hits, whatever, he comes back. But how do I put this? He comes back, and how he says he calls out Jey for basically ruining everything. Basically ruining what Kenny has kind of built up with the Elite. And then, bring up how, Jey has beaten him, but or he could say I've never beaten you. Or he could even say you've beaten me, but he could say something have you ever, you've beaten Kenny Omega, the One-Winged Angel, but you've never beat the Cleaner. And this is just me fantasizing at this point. At that point, we get the Cleaner from New Japan, that. You know what I'm saying? That would be the only way I would accept this. Okay, I would accept Jey ruining everything and Kenny coming back to fix it, as if Kenny gets to come back as the Cleaner and finally get his redemption over Jey. Because Jey can beat the One-Winged Angel, but can he beat the Cleaner? We'll have to find out.
What should be a double swerve, and this here ends with the Bullet Club being Cleaner, Kenny, the Bucks, Cole, Chris Bay, the Good Brothers, with Jey as the leader, and all of them are just a heel Bullet Club.
Hell no, don't you bring that shit into my head. No.
Or reverse it, and Kenny goes back to being leader and kicks Jey out, and Kenny takes the Bullet Club back.
I can see. Here's the thing, though. I think Bullet Club like has become too like Americanized, if that makes any sense. Like I feel like it was definitely like it was at its best in New Japan. I feel like it like, and I feel like the more you try to bring it to the United States, try to keep bringing it in, bringing other people, you know, that are not New Japan talent, I feel like it's just not the same. I feel like I don't know, it just hit a lot different when, you know, they were changing the world as like, you know, these guys from New Japan who just did not give a shit or respected the culture, like stuff like that.
Yeah.
So again, I don't know. Again, if it works and if I like it, then I won't complain. But like, I just feel like, again, I don't think the bull. I don't. And I guess another thing is Kenny is way too big of a star to be in a faction. Like maybe in the elite, yes, but like the elite was like only like 5 people. You know, I don't really consider the Good Brothers to be in the elite. I never really considered them the elite. So like with him,
Good Brother should be nowhere near the World Elite.
exactly. So you know, Kenny Omega, the Bucks, and I guess if you want to throw in Adam Cole, fine. Um, I feel like a small faction because again, if you throw everyone into the elite, then it's not even the elite anymore because it's like I feel like the elite is supposed to be like the best of the best, and there's only a few of those. So I feel like, you know, but I think Bullet Club just needs to go back to Japan. I don't think Kenny has any business being the leader again. I think he's already had his time. And again, like Jay can be leader for all I care, but again, I don't think Kenny doesn't need to be the leader. I think he can probably save Bullet Club from Jay, maybe get a new leader out of it, but
Yeah.
I don't think he needs to take over as the leader. I think he's done his time as far as that regard. Okay, so what question were we on? I was like, we have completely lost.
Where do we see this? Where do we see the storyline going? Yeah.
There we go. This is almost like 2 hours, but I don't care because it's just so good. It was been really fun to talk about New Japan. So next question. Dream Wrestle Kingdom match. There's a lot of dreams out there, but I'll try and keep it short.
Is this just within New Japan or
no? It could be anything because it's a dream. So in your dreams. Like, I would like to see, because again, it apparently was supposed to happen, but obviously it has not. But I would do like not title versus title, winner takes all, not that shit. Just, you know, champion versus champion, just to kind of like, you know, have that happen. Okada versus Hangman, I would love to see that. You know, I'm pretty sure I've been told like, oh, Okada's coming. He's gonna come at full gear. He's gonna come at all out. I'm like, dude, like Okada has not shown up like at all.
Every time AEW has a pay-per-view now, it's going to end with Okada coming out.
I know, right? Like it doesn't matter. It could be a WWE pay-per-view. Okada's coming. I'm like, oh, okay. I'm like, you just keep telling me that. I've already lost all hope. You can tell me that funny joke, haha. You got me.
Oh, I do fully believe it will happen one day, but
I know. I guess because Jay's already been in like North America, but I'm like the fact that it hasn't happened, but Jay's already come to. But I guess because Jay's already been like with Impact and stuff, so that makes a little more sense. But I'm just waiting again. I was hoping it could be for the U.S. title. I guess not anymore, but I'm still waiting for Tana versus Mox. Like they teased that shit to us before All Out last year, and we still haven't gotten it. Like, well, you can't just put Hiroshi Tanahashi on AEW television, have Mox calling him out, and then not do anything with that. Okay, like you can't just do that to me.
My one I was going to say was I don't care if it's for a title, even if it's just a regular singles match. Is Okada Mox?
That would be dope. I can see the title be on the line for that.
Well, yeah, I mean, that would be great if Mox was competing for the heavyweight title, but that's the thing. I doubt Mox would be coming out that way. The title, because with being in AEW, there's no way Mox is going to be in Japan enough for a full world title run.
And exactly what you said is another reason why I don't see why people think that Jay even like is gonna, you know, when people say Jay's gonna take Hangman's title, I'm thinking like he's not even signed, and you know he, as you know, just these last couple weeks has proven he's not gonna be here all the time. Like at least we've seen Hangman like he's been like, whether it's a promo, whether it's, I feel like his whole Lance Archer feud, he was getting put through something. He was getting thrown through stairs. He was doing something, getting put through tables, something. But we saw him. He was here almost, I think, like every week. Maybe like 1 week he's, like every so often he won't be there. But like the dude's got a baby, okay? So you got to go be a dad too. So, but I guess like Jey just, again, not only is he not signed, but he hasn't really, he needs to be consistently there, which I don't even know if that would even happen. Maybe because of the storyline, yes, but at the same time, there's just also so much other talent that they don't even, sometimes AEW, like, they don't even utilize. So the fact is that, like, right now they should not have someone who's not even signed winning the title if they're not even being consistently on TV.
Yeah, I just realized I'm looking at my camera how dark it is for me now.
Yeah, you're fine, though. You're okay. I'm going to say, it's getting late where you are now, because it's only, what time is it? It's going to be 6 for you.
It's nearly 6, yeah.
It's going to be 11 a.m. Like, you can see, like, you can kind of see from the back. Like, that's my window right there. It's, like, bright as hell. Yeah, well, like...
Yeah, I was going to say, when we logged on, I was going to be like, good evening. But I was
good
like,
evening, yeah,
just
good
woke
night.
up like an hour ago.
I know, I woke up and just threw this face on. Yeah, okay. 2 more questions, okay? There's one more, but I think it's because I don't think what people seem to forget, because I guess the second time around when I said there was a last chance, I guess people seem to have forgotten that this was supposed to be for us. So one of the questions was favorite Tanahashi match, but I think that was obviously directed towards me because, I love Tanahashi.
Well, answer.
Also, I can't just answer, okay? Like, again, favorite Tanahashi match, it changes, okay? Sometimes I like watching him versus Kenny. Sometimes I like watching him win the G1. Sometimes I like, it's not even a match, but when he made Jey tap out, like, I just, like, I can't just choose, a match. So I guess currently, because I have been watching it quite often, his match versus Kenta at Wrestle Kingdom, it was gold, and I haven't stopped watching it. So I guess that was my favorite right now. So last 2 questions. I'll save this one for the last. So next question is favorite Okada match. We've already kind of talked about Okada.
Wait,
talked about how he's a
let's
god.
Let's not go with the obvious. Let's not go with the obvious and just be like Kenny.
The one time he wrestled Kenny, that one time he wrestled. That one and only singular time he's wrestled Kenny. Mm-hmm. Okay, we won't go with the obvious. Again, it's just Okada's just, again, like Tyson said, he is a god. I feel like he's brought in so much to New Japan, and I feel like with at least some of, like, like yourself, I feel like, I'm not going to speak for you, but I feel like fans like you who, who may have started watching because of, like, Jericho brought New Japan to light and all around the world. But I feel like fans like you, I can see if Okada is one of the reasons why they still watch, because he's just that phenomenal.
For sure, yeah.
I wouldn't say this is my favorite, but like a match that I really enjoy watching is I don't even know if it was the first round. I think it was the first round, like night 1 of the G1 with him versus Tanahashi. That was a really good match. And then they almost reached the time limit. I was like, oh my god, they're not doing this to us. They're going to have a tie. But no, Okada came out with a win. I was like, shit. But it was still a really good match. Honestly, both matches with Will Ospreay were fucking phenomenal. But I feel like the one at Wrestle Kingdom 15 was also just really good. I watched it while I had COVID and I was really sick, but I didn't want to miss it. So I watched it and I was like, I almost kind of forgot I was sick because I was so mesmerized with how freaking awesome the match was.
Yeah, there was a spot in that match. It was a power bomb that Ospreay gave to Okada. Yeah. And I wouldn't, like, when in the moment when it happened, for like the first few seconds, I wouldn't have been surprised if Okada was concussed because he slammed him down really hard.
Dude,
I verbally actually went in out loud. Oh,
yeah, because
geez, that was
a hell of a spot. The fact that first of all he still went and won the match, but then also the fact that he was still good to go. I was like, how is this dude like not concussed or dead? Really surprising.
Yeah. I think if I had to pick a favorite besides like the obvious, like the ones I've already talked about, the one time at WrestleMania, Um,
Oh my god.
Probably, do you know what? Naito Wrestle Kingdom 12.
That's a good. It is.
Or, funny enough, Naito again, just recently at the Gold Series.
I was gonna
The
say
last,
that.
like,
I was gonna say
5
that. I was
minutes
gonna
of
say
that
him.
match.
I was gonna say him and Naito can make some magic. I was gonna say like that. I was gonna bring up that match. I was like, we have that. We have Wrestle Kingdom, and then we have this time really good match.
Yeah.
And that's why I just like again. I thought Okada could bring us back the belt. Give Naito back the IC title, which obviously it belongs to him. It was made for Naito, but I digress. Again, I'm telling you that the only time it'll work is that if Ibushi, at some point challenges him. I'm pretty sure it'll be after he wins the New Japan Cup because it's kind of obvious, and he says the stipulation where if, for the title, if you win, if Ibushi wins, World Heavyweight title stays. If Okada wins, then because it'll make sense because Ibushi's the one who unified the titles. Okada was completely against it. It was actually the same night the earthquake happened that one time when they were in a tag match with Tanahashi, and Tana and Okada were kind of like, they kind of gave like Ibushi some side eye. Like they were kind of like not happy to be in a tag team with him because like they knew that he was trying to unify the titles. They're like, really, dude? So yeah, so Okada has been against
as well. Like it wasn't even storyline in real life as well.
Yeah, I was like, this, like kayfabe like aside, they were just like, really? Like I'm so sad, Daniel. I cannot find the clip where they show the title and Tana's just looking livid. I've never seen Tana, like, ever since Jey entered his life into a feud, I've never seen Tana look so pissed off. Like, never. Like, it was, again, not until Jey started feuding with him and beat him for the never openweight title, I'd seen Tana, like, looking pissed. I was like, wow. But when they showed that title, Tana was not happy. But I guess when you have so much history with that title, when you've done so much with that title, like, isn't he like one of like the ones who's held it the most of that? Like, when it like, doesn't he have like one of the most reigns with the? I think it was the heavyweight one, no? Or am I just tripping? I could be wrong. He holds some.
Tana?
Yeah, there's some sort of.
Yeah, he's held it a lot.
I'm just gonna say, I don't know which title it was, but I know I read it. There was because I like to go back and read shit, like especially like history. There was a statistic. Tana, I don't know if it was the IC title. I think it was the heavyweight title where he's held it the most, like one of the most times. I think like 8 times or something. I want to look it up.
Okada would have to be up there now, though, because...
Oh, absolutely. Well, because again, this is what makes it confusing, especially, like, for example, with, like, the WWE title, when people say, oh, like, Ric Flair is a 16-time champion, but I'm like, people are like, oh, well, with which belt and stuff. I'm like, what? Like, that's totally shit like that makes me so confused, and I'm like, who fucking cares? But I guess, so, again, in that regard, do you want to consider, like, the World Heavyweight title as included? I guess because it's the biggest title you could, but, like... as held.
I mean, just because of what it looks like, I don't want to.
I remember I was so disgusted when they unveiled that title. I woke up stupid fucking early just to watch that. I was like, wow. I hope they don't give me the World Heavyweight because that's not the title I'm asking about. Times. Yeah, Hiroshi Tanahashi held the record for most reigns with 8. So 8 reigns. I don't know how many Okada has had. I'll have to go back and check. Okada has held the record for the biggest reign in the title's history at 720 days during his 4th reign, which he successfully defended the title 12 times, more defensive than any other title holder. Shit.
Yeah, that was the V12 thing.
Yeah. I'm gonna say. But it was just kind of like for anyone who was like unfamiliar. Okay, so last question, and actually it's the last question that was asked, but we still have our questions for each other. Like, I'm not forgetting about that. I still got my question. You still got yours. So last one. First New Japan you've ever watched. I don't know if they mean match or just the first time you've ever watched New Japan, which honestly, I don't remember. It was a long time ago. I will say this. It was around a little bit after AJ took over as the leader of Bullet Club because I would watch AJ. When I got into wrestling, I didn't know like, you know, I was a child, or almost like pretty much a child. Yeah, when you're like a teen, you're a fucking child. Like preteens are children, okay? But when you look stuff up online, like I thought it was kind of all the same. I didn't realize there was different companies at the time. So I came across TNA on accident because I thought, you know, all wrestling was the same. And I saw AJ, and then that's when I got into AJ. So I would watch TNA mostly for AJ. There were still other good matches, you know, like Samoa Joe did really well in TNA and stuff, you know. But it was mostly for AJ.
Whoever they were.
Yeah. Whoever those idiots were. Yeah, it was mostly for AJ. And then all of a sudden, he just was gone. I was like, where the hell did AJ go? It's like AJ disappeared. And so I Googled it. And then I was like, oh, it was a different wrestling company. Like AJ goes to New Japan. I was like, fuck is New Japan? And so I started, I kind of started looking it up. And then I realized you gotta pay for like channels. You gotta pay for, you know, New Japan World. So I was like, shit. So I ended up watching through a family friend, and now I was like, and then that's how I got into Bullet Club, and that's how I got into Kenny. So it all started from there. So I guess you could say I started watching New Japan when I discovered that AJ had gone missing and he was not dead, so I had to go find him wherever he went. So that's how I started watching New Japan. I don't remember which match specifically, though. It was my first match.
First match I saw, saying it earlier, was Kenny Jericho.
Really good match.
Because I had read about, as you were saying, but like fans who weren't familiar, I was reading about this Kenny Omega guy who beat Chris Jericho in Japan. Mm-hmm. And I was thinking, well, if Jericho went over there, it must be good. Yeah. So I watched that match, and that's where my thing for I became a Kenny fan. But then I went, oh, I wonder what else this company has. So I went back and watched. That's how it starts. So I went back and watched that entire Wrestle Kingdom 12 and was like, oh, I like this. So yeah, I watched it from there. So match 12. And then if you want to say like whole show, if you count going back and watching Wrestle Kingdom 12, the whole thing. So, yeah.
When did you become a Jey White fan? That's not my question to you. I'm just curious. Like, when did you start liking Jey White?
Because, yeah, his first match as Switchblade was against Tana at Wrestle Kingdom 12. So I saw that match, and I think, like, even I would admit, me being a big Jey fan, that match wasn't the best because you could just tell Jey was not used to the new character yet, or the new kind of moveset yet.
Again,
I was looking at him going, okay, this guy is good, but he just seems so off. And when I read and kind of went back, I was like, oh, okay, that he had just gotten a new character. But he had been kind of on my radar since his first match of Switchblade.
Yeah, and I get that.
And then since then, it was just, I watched him more and more as I kept watching.
Again, it wasn't the best. Obviously, he was kind of lost in his character, if you will. Like, he didn't find himself, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
So, I didn't give him shit, because, again, it's not like I hate him like the Jey White, the person. I kind of felt bad. Like, this poor guy's totally lost. But,
yeah.
But again, like, I didn't give him shit because, again, honestly, if you want me to be honest, I tried liking him, okay? Especially because, you know, he joined Chaos and then he ended up taking over Bullet Club. I know I didn't like when he rejected the offer from Kenny and, you know, freaking beat his ass and stuff. I was like, what the hell? But I didn't have a reason to hate him, you know, because I know it's okay to like the heels, you know, obviously, you know.
Yeah.
But that being said, I was like, I tried, but then again, the fans started coming and I was like, I can't. It's kind of like with Sasha Banks. I tried, but the fans are just too much. I can't. I just cannot with the fans. So I'm like, I don't want to be associated or part of this group. I'm like, it's like, that just gives such a, no offense, it just gives such a bad rep. And you know this, like, it gives such a bad rep for people like you who actually like him and who actually freaking follow him and have been following him and actually watch what he does. So it's just crazy. I don't know. So like I saw the other day you liked one of my comments from like back in 2018. I commented on his
Yeah,
post.
I was scrolling through.
Yeah.
I was scrolling through his profile looking for like pictures for edits.
And you saw me.
So that's how I saw that, and I seen that comment.
Yeah, you liked it, and I'm like, yeah. I was like, what? I got the notification. I'm like, what comment is this? I don't remember making this comment. And I went back. I was like, oh shit. I'm like,
Yeah.
this is old. And that's when I tried to like him. I
Mhm.
tried, but I just couldn't. I'm like, especially because of the fans. I was like, I just so anyone who thinks I just have some random vendetta against him, that's not the case.
Yeah, that thing you were talking about there with, well, not torn on Kenny, but rejecting the offer to join Bullet Club. That was the kind of, and I know this was the night after it was New Year's Dash, but that was when I kind of was more interested in him because I went, oh, if they're gonna, because I'm just been introduced to this company. As far as I know, this guy being Kenny is the top gaijin, and now they've just had this guy torn him down in the club that is meant to be the biggest club of this company. So he must be doing something right. And that's when I kind of became invested more into it. And then I went back and watched it to pinpoint an exact moment. I kind of went, I like this guy. Because like you were saying, it's okay to cheer the heels. I rewatched the press conference. I think it was it before or after Wrestle Kingdom when Jey joined Chaos?
It was after, but I could be wrong. And
After.
also, it's hard
Remember, he
because
said,
so much stuff just kind of becomes a blur. You got to try and remember what happened
yeah,
when.
yeah. He said to Okada, he turned to him in the chair and was like, let me make it very clear. I'm doing this whole arrangement because it benefits me. It's going to help me get to where I want to be. But the day is going to come where me and you, our paths are going to cross. And that made me kind of go, oh, I like this dude
Like,
because
oh shit.
he knows what he wants. And
It was moments like that where I'm like, okay, I think I can get behind this guy, but
yeah.
again, it's just
And it was like, oh, like how many times have you seen in wrestling someone using the top guy to get to the top themselves? But what struck me was this guy just told Okada to his face that this is what he was doing.
like Kazuchika Okada of all people, you know.
Yeah. And he turned to him and basically, in short way of saying it, basically turned around and said, one of these days I'm going to betray you and we're going to fight.
Yeah, like he straight up
And I
said
was like,
that.
this guy is good. His character is good. I like this. And then, yeah, since then,
Mhm. Yeah, and again, just anyway, I feel like I always have to repeat myself, but I feel like if I don't, like, it's bound to be a disaster for me. Like, I first of all, anything I might say about Jay White is never a personal attack against his fans. Go ahead and like him. I don't fucking care, okay? I don't care if you like him, okay? I just like you shouldn't care that I don't like him. I feel like I'm talking like I'm a broken record at this point, but Daniel is like sees it firsthand because he follows me on Instagram where I'm the most active and he sees what I like, how much shit I get for just not liking him. And it's like it's not that deep. Like imagine if I got so pissed and took it so personal for every single person that doesn't like Kenny and gives him so much shit. Like, oh my God, like I would be like so grumpy. I would be such a miserable person if I took every insult against Kenny as a personal attack as a
mhm.
fan. And that's not the case. I've said it before that like if something horrible were to happen to Jay in real life, if a family member, something happens to him, a family member, I would be devastated for him because no one deserves to go through that. It is nothing against him as a person, as I think his actual name is Jay White. No, like, um, as Jay White, like,
Yeah, Jamie. Yeah,
yeah, well, whatever. It's still Jay. He's still
yeah,
Jay technically. Kind of like how Matt
yeah,
and Nick are not like they're Matthew and Nicholas, but
yeah,
it's still
yeah.
Matt and Nick. But yeah, I would be devastated for him, and I would send my thoughts and prayers to him if something happened to him or like someone he loves or something personal is going on in real life. There's nothing
Mhm.
like. And people think that because I don't like his character or like him as a wrestler, they think that I just absolutely want him dead or something. And that's not the case. And I wish some people would just realize that. And like, just like you're free to talk about how much you don't like, I mean, how much you like him. I'm free to talk about how much I don't like him. It shouldn't have to be, you know, and again, that's just another reason why, like, I just couldn't be a fan no matter how much I tried. Not just because I don't really enjoy him that much as a wrestler, but like it's fans. I can't even say like, oh, oh, haha, Jey, got put in the Jey tap out as Tana called it. Because then no, all of a sudden I'm a bitch. I'm like I get so much shit for it, and Daniel's seen it firsthand, and it's so annoying. But again, it's nothing personal, so just chill, take it easy, okay? Like or at least most of us, Daniel, sorry, live in America. We have the freedom of speech. We can say whatever the hell we want, okay? About whoever we want. So I just wanted to put that out there. So now really quick.
I'm just going to step out of the screen for 2 seconds. I can still hear you.
Okay.
I'm just going to turn on a light because it's like that thing was bothering you earlier. Yeah, I know. I'm seeing myself and I'm slowly
fading away in the darkness. It's okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, go ahead. Yeah, that's fine. But yeah, just to kind of briefly state that I tried being a Jey fan, and it's just I couldn't because of his fans that constantly
let there be light. Okay.
I know, right? His fans that constantly like to see anything I say against him as an insult to them personally. I'm like, it's not the case. Okay. If you said that Hangman sucks, I'm not gonna say that I'm not gonna take that as an insult against me. And if you know me, you know I fucking love Hangman. Okay. So it's not that deep. So just putting that out there, okay? It's okay to hate someone, or not even hate. Hate's not even, I don't even hate the guy. That's the thing. Hate is such a strong word. I just don't like him. So to anyone, so I don't hate the guy. I just don't like him, okay? So just leave me alone. This is all I really got to say. Like, okay.
You do one of these whole 1 hour shows 1 week just by yourself, just cutting promos on Jey fans.
Oh my God, I would get murdered, like verbally murdered. Like I get so much, I can't even say Hangman's going to retain against Jey if he challenges from the title without getting shit for it. So no, I'm like, that's like a suicide. But yeah. And again, it doesn't help when a lot of these, y'all use quotes, fans like to get on me for how much I don't like him when I've at least I have some validity for my opinion, considering I have watched so much Jay White in my life for years, not by choice, but just because he just happens to be on this company I really like to watch. So I've watched a lot of Jay White where I feel like I could solidify my opinion without getting shit for it. So you can say whatever, especially from the fans who have not nearly watched as much Jay White as I have, as someone who doesn't like him, and at least someone who's tried to like him. So whatever, you can go ahead and just see what I post and then make a statement about it to make it look like you watch Jay and keep up with him. I don't care. Because I'm telling you, Daniel, like when Jay won the rights to the G1, I was pretty pissed, okay? Like I was like, really? I was like, of course he cheated. I said he took the easy way out. I called him a coward. I said he's going to regret it at Wrestle Kingdom, whatever. And of course, I got so much shit for it. People were saying people took what I said, took the same screenshot. Like, I'm not even joking. Screenshot my story, like cropped the little article that I had screenshot or the pictures, and then talk about what they had to say in favor of Jay. I'm like, really? Like, why don't you go watch it yourself? I feel like had I not said, or the picture wasn't Jay with his feet on the ropes, like had I not said that he lost, not clean, it was like, obviously he did some heel shit, they would have said, oh my God, I'm so happy he did it all by himself. They probably would have pulled some shit out of their ass. But of course, since I said he cheated, they were like, oh my God, I guess some people forget how heels work. I'm like, I don't give a shit how heels work. I still I'm entitled to my own opinion. I realize that that's what heels do. I just don't like the guy. So I'm of course going to say that. But no, you can go ahead, take screenshots from my story and say your little opinion, or see what I have to say and then share your opinion like you actually went and watched the damn thing. But I digress. So, hold on, sorry. shit. Okay, sorry. It's because I have Twitter notifications for the Bucks, and apparently there's gonna be a huge announcement. AEW live event announcement on
Notification for Bucks as well.
Huge AEW live event announcement on Mondays being the Elite. Shit. Okay. Well, luckily I watched during class, so.
Please be UK show. Please be UK show. Please be UK show.
They're going to Australia. No, I'm just kidding. They're going to Canada. I wouldn't be surprised if it was Canada first. But they do need to do a UK show at some point, which is why I really never understood why they're trying, like when Cody was like doing this shit against Anthony Ogogo, he was trashing the UK. I'm like, this is the same country you're trying to get to. Why are you trashing the whole country? What? This is not here or there. We're talking about New Japan. This is Japan. But anyways, so now we're like, I think about 2 hours in, right? It doesn't matter. I don't care.
Around that, yeah.
Yeah, this doesn't matter. This is the joy of Q&As and getting to talk about New Japan. So we now have a question for each other, and I'll let you go first. So hit me. What's your question for me?
So as we know,
yeah,
Devitt was kicked out of the Bullet Club because he left for WWE.
Yeah.
AJ was written off out of the Bullet Club.
But he left. I was gonna say, but he technically got kicked. He, like in kayfabe land, he got kicked.
Yeah, but they were written off the show because they were going to WWE.
Yeah.
So my question is, what do you think would have happened if what we saw had have played out the way it did, but Devitt and AJ stayed after being kicked out?
Oh shit. If they
the Bucks turn on Devitt, kick him out of Bullet Club, but Devitt never leaves. He just stays. Same with AJ.
So I feel like, well, first of all, I feel like Devitt would probably just, because this happened like 2 years apart, I want to say, because Devitt was 2014 and AJ was 2016. So it was about 2 years apart.
AJ was New Year's Dash 2016, right? After.
Yeah. Yes, it was. Yeah. It was right, because he especially a good way to reference is he debuted that same month at the Royal Rumble, so that's the same.
He did.
Same time he got kicked out. And I'm like, damn, AJ going places, getting kicked out of the Bullet Club. Just anyway. Anyways, so I feel like Devitt probably would have gone on to probably do his own thing, maybe win like a singles title, like maybe not just the junior heavyweight. I could see him maybe winning like, maybe the Intercontinental Championship, maybe even like the Never Openweight Championship. I don't know. But I feel like he would have stayed, like just kind of doing his own thing. I feel like he would have been betrayed. I can kind of even see him joining Chaos with Okada. I can kind of see that.
Interesting.
Yeah. So, but I feel like after AJ, if AJ would have stayed despite being kicked from the Bullet Club, I feel like him and Devitt probably would have joined together because it would be one of those moments where they're gonna join together, but in the beginning it's very like, it seems unlikely because they just can't get along. Devitt would probably throw it back in AJ's face that because of you I got kicked from the faction I made. And then, but with AJ, it's like, well, hey, you gotta get over it. I now know it, like I got the same treatment also. So I could see them trying to figure out a way to come together to try to combat the Elite. But again, this is all like what could have been. But then, like, for example, if we take it as far as, the Elite getting kicked out of the Bullet Club and if they stayed, not going on to make AEW, would you incorporate AJ and Devitt into the Elite, maybe? To kind of combat the Bullet Club?
I can see that working,
yeah. Oh gosh. I need to go vote. I'm like, I'll talk about this after we're done recording. There's just so much shit going on right now in Texas. But yeah. So yeah, I could kind of see if they never left, I could see something like that happening. Or like I said, I could see David joining Chaos. I don't know why. I just kind of see it.
Yeah.
Okay. What about you? Well, like, I want to see what your take is. You were the one who came up with the question, so I figured you'd have an answer.
Yeah, I think Devin will go on a singles run away from a faction. Probably IC title. US title wasn't around at the time, so we wouldn't have gone for that. So yeah, I'd see him going into a proper like IC title run. AJ, I think, would hang around the kind of main event scene with like Okada and things, but you would still have the bad blood with Kenny and the Elite, and that
Yeah.
Kenny AJ would inevitably happen at some point down the line there.
What could have happened? Like,
Heck, Deva AJ probably would have happened down the line going back.
We did eventually get in WWE, but I definitely think it would have hit different if it was in New Japan. But also, it doesn't help that all this happened within the span of like 2 weeks. Like AJ got kicked, and then he debuted in the Rumble. So there was no chance, unless you do like some WWE shit, like where you do it on like the next week, where like you can build a story, build a feud, and then have a match. Like, if AJ wouldn't have debuted at the Rumble, if he would have stayed for a bit, we could have at least seen Kenny versus AJ, like, at the next pay-per-view or, like, the next special event, something.
Add that to the list of Wrestle Kingdom dream matches.
Yeah, for sure. Kenny versus AJ. But now they're both out of New Japan, and we're still waiting for Devil Sky to come back. One could dream. That's why I want Kenny to come back as the cleaner. Like, I want Devil Sky back. Like, please.
That's how I want him to come back. I want the lights to go out.
I want the lights to go out. I want the beginning of Devil Sky to start playing, and then like when the main part of his theme starts, you know what I'm talking about? Like the main part of the theme song starts, he rises from the ground like Cody, but so much cooler. Like with the fog machines and the black trunks, the long hair, the aviators, not the little tiny IWGP Junior Heavyweight belt. A broom? I mean, I wouldn't mind it, but I think it would have kind of...
If he just had the belt for some reason, and it was never explained why.
If I wasn't trying to have Kenny be very serious, that would be super funny, but no.
He never, no one acknowledged it. He just always brought it out with him in matches, but he pretended it wasn't there.
Yeah, or like people will ask him, well, why'd you do it? And he wouldn't answer, never.
Yeah.
But yeah, okay. So now...
Your question for me.
Yes, it's kind of more like a question specifically for you. And again, I've had this since we first thought. And honestly, I've had this question for a while, and I don't think I've ever asked you. So, okay. It's no secret. You obviously like to give Hiroshi Tanahashi a lot of shit because of me. Obviously, to get under my skin. You really don't. It's all in good fun. We could joke around like this. It's cool. And it's really entertaining for me, at least. I know it's entertaining for you too. But is this quote hate for Tanahashi just specifically because I like him, or do you actually have something against him, or do you actually quite enjoy Tanahashi? Is
that the question?
Yeah.
Oh no, it's just because you like him.
That's it. That's literally it. So if this like obsession, if you will, wasn't there, you probably would not give as much shit to him as you do.
No, because it's just because you don't like Jey. I just want to poke fun at your guy.
It just so happened that it was right before they started feuding that we started talking. So it was like perfect coincidence.
Yeah, so I just wanted to poke fun back at your guy.
Okay.
And it just happened to be Tana. That could have been literally anyone, and I would have...
Like if it was like Okada.
Yeah.
Okay.
I would have been saying the same.
Like it was Toriano, it would not even have to be fake. It would have to be. I just wanted.
I should have told you when you asked me to do this. I should have said on one condition is that name is not mentioned.
So I've mentioned him like at least 4 different times. Oops.
I didn't sign up for Yano Talk when I logged onto this.
You don't want to buy his DVD or whatever it is.
I bet it's not even on Blu-ray. That'd be a shit DVD.
I'm genuinely, again, I really want to go to Japan. Obviously, not just to go watch the product, but like I'm genuinely curious. Like, if I bought a DVD, like I would even make one of those YouTube videos. I bought Toru Yano's DVD so you didn't have to, or so you don't have to, and I would react to it. We could react to it. We could react to it together. I'll put it on for both of us.
There's a stream.
Oh my god, that would be freaking hilarious. And then, oh my god, I would have to bring Brooke on. I would have to. Like, I want to try.
You should get Brooke. You should get Brooke for one of these shows.
I really want to try it, and I really want to try and do like kind of like what we did, but with the three of us. I feel like we could do a lot more. This would probably be more than 2 hours for sure. But I need to find. It's because it's hard for her because her schedule is really hard to get on. Like she could she's joined my live. Like we actually went live together like only once, and even then like she was kind of getting like bothered in the background. So I was like, all right. And like she says her Wi-Fi is just the worst. So I would feel bad. She would feel bad that the Wi-Fi is cutting out and stuff, which wouldn't be a problem at all. I really wouldn't mind because at the end of the day, it would be cool to talk to her and stuff. But yeah, I would definitely want to try to get her on. But yeah, even if it is just for the three of us to watch Toru Yano's DVD, like, please, that would be freaking hilarious.
Yeah, I would like.
What else does he sell? Like, he sells his DVD. He shows off the trophy. He tries to sell like pictures, I think, of himself or some.
I think it's some type of pictures or like photo book or something.
Something. I always see a picture of himself. I don't know what exactly it is though, but.
I'd like to see the reason I'd like to see Brooke on one of these because I've talked to her a lot of times, like messages about like theories and stuff about Kenny and things like that, and I'd like to see like talk about more in depth about.
Yeah, she's talked to me too about them, but again, she hasn't even really been active on Insta. So I don't know what's going on. So I'm like, So, but again, if we were able to get Brooke on, that'd be fucking great. So, like,
I would just be hilarious as well.
Oh, yes, it would. Oh, you would get torn to shreds. Like, we both don't like Jey. So,
I know.
Anyway. All right. So, I think that about wraps it up. It took a lot. I thought we weren't going to have enough questions. Little did I know this took a lot longer than I thought, but I'm not even mad about it. I'm actually really glad that we got nice lengthy time out of this. But, tell the people where they can find you.
You can find me on Instagram and Twitter at Unscripted Paradigm.
Yeah, he makes really cool edits. He made me a Tana edit one time, and it was so nice. That's why I was like, you know what? I just gotta ask. Do you really? I guess.
Fun fact: that Tana edit that you're talking about was I got a new editing app. It's like an extension of the ones I already use, and I had just downloaded it, and that was the first one I made with that app. It was like the chroma background with all the colors and everything.
Yeah.
So like I want to test this out. So
it was really
that was
cool.
the first one I made.
I was really upset when like shit was going down and like you made the edit. I was like, that's so nice. And like you only DT'd me. I was like, oh my god, you didn't even DT like the norm, like Emily and Brooke, Jaylee. I was like, oh my god, it was just for me. So I was like, it was really special and I really loved it. So yeah, you can check it out.
I just copy and paste that now every time I go to DTs. I just copy and paste all of your ads.
Yeah, hey, it's sometimes just what you got to do. Why type everything out?
But yeah, no, I did purposely just DT you because one, it was Tana.
But you DT'd other people in Tana edits.
Yeah, but like specifically because like.
What was going on?
Yeah.
Only J-Fan to do it.
So
see it.
I was posting a Tana edit. I'll just tag Savannah.
Oh, so nice. And again, this is the only J-Fan who will do it.
There's a Jey edit coming next of him Blade Running Tana, so that would be great. And I'm just going to DT you again. No one else. It's just going to be
my god!
You're going to get tagged in a post. You're just going to say Unscripted Paradigm tagged you in a post, and you're going to click on it, and it'll just be Tana.
You and a couple other people are the reason why I even did Jey merch pics, but I archived them because one of the people I tagged I'm no longer talking to, so I just don't want to be reminded anymore. So I just archived it. But yeah, I was like, only Daniel was one of the main reasons why I would ever do Jey pics. And even then, I didn't use a Jey shirt. I just did a Jey makeup look.
When you posted the story of like your nails with the slashes.
They came out better than I thought. I have pretty shaky hands. Yeah, that was
very good. But when you posted that story and you were like, if you know what's coming, I saw that and I just went to myself.
You started
It's finally happening.
cynical laugh. Yeah,
Yeah, evil villain laugh.
exactly. Because like, or cue Seth Rollins' evil laugh like that.
Yeah, intensifies.
Exactly, because I was like, I just wanted to get it over with at that point, and I'm gonna really try and start like my Bucks nails. I'm gonna really start trying to do my nails to match my merch picks. It's just hard though, because I got to do it at least with 2 days ahead, and I try to post once a week, so I'm like that's me painting my nails once a week. That's actually a lot harder than it seems, especially if I want to do something like this. But anyways, so that's where you can find Daniel. Unscripted Paradigm on Twitter and on Instagram. I'll even, when I edit this, I'll put the actual name so you could go find it yourself. And then you can find me at Y2 Garcia with an underscore. If there's no underscore, it's not me. People have actually made that mistake. So yes, I have to say with the underscore. You can find me on Twitter and on Instagram. I'm mostly on Instagram. I'm hardly ever on Twitter unless it's to reply to Hangman or Kenny. I feel like that's the only two people I ever interact with on Twitter at this point. I don't care.
Yeah, if I ever see a tweet come up on my Twitter from you, it's usually about either the Bucks, Kenny, or Hangman.
Yeah, mostly Hangman, though. I've noticed I just kind of I will comment on Kenny's post, but maybe not so much reply to his tweets anymore. Just because, again, just so many... Twitter's just so toxic, and I feel like with Hangman, I don't get shit for anything. Like, Kenny fans...
That's why I only post, like, the odd edit here and there on Twitter, because it's the worst platform when it comes to, like, this shit. Yeah. So I'll post, like, one every so often.
That's why, like, I really talk about my dislike for Jey on Instagram, only because I do get shit for it, but I know it's nowhere near as bad as it could be.
If you posted the stuff you post on Twitter.
Oh, absolutely not. I'd be probably not here right now.
That's why when I'm posting ads and stuff, I just do it more on Instagram. So
yeah, exactly. So yeah, that's where you can find me, mostly on Instagram. And if you want to check this out, we're you can go to youtube.com/ShElite Showcase. We're still trying to get that custom URL, so please subscribe if you haven't. And you can also check all of us out on YouTube. We're also on like Apple Podcasts, Spotify, a lot of other stuff that I'm not as good at this as Katie is, as you can clearly tell. But you can go to her Twitter at Katie Wrestling 13. I'll leave a little thing up here for you if you're watching, but you can find the link tree in her bio, and you can see all things ShElite Showcase, where you can check us out, because again, I'm not good at promoting us, sorry Katie, but yeah, you can check us out. But until then, I'll see you in the next episode. Hopefully it's with Daniel. I want to try and get Daniel on here as often as possible, but it is hard to do it with the time difference, and then also we're both in school, so it's a little hard, but if we've managed now, we can manage again at some point, I'm sure. Yeah, I'm sure people watching from the start to like 20 minutes ago, it just progressively got more and more darker as it just got later here. And it's only getting brighter here and hotter. Like I should have turned on my fan, but it's okay. All right, but until then, I'll see you anytime I can hop on. I'll sure. And again, I'm gonna try and get Brooke. I would really love to get the three of us. I feel like we're the dynamic trio of New Japan in the wrestling community of that I am in on Instagram, at least, because I know there's a bigger community out there, but I mean the community that we're in. I feel like we're like the dynamic trio. I'll even try and bring Tyson on, who knows, but again, we just got to try and get all the schedules to work. So we'll have to see, but until then, I'll see you in the next episode. Peace. Bye.